Hello there, everybody. Look at this crazy position. The black king cannot move, the white king cannot move. It's really set up for some stalemate traps, and perhaps black has some plans of getting his queen over to the a file somewhere here and checkmate white. Well, anyway, it's white to move, and of course, if we grab this queen right away, it's a direct stalemate, so that's not an option. Instead, you have to find something else. So now you can pause the video and analyze this on your own and see if you can find out how white is to move and win here. Go ahead. And welcome back. Okay, as we cannot move the king and all our pawns are also trapped here, they are blocked, so we have to move one of the rooks somewhere. And as said, we cannot grab this queen. So what happens if we move this rook somewhere, perhaps to e1, and we want to get it to e8? Well, it's not good to move this rook because we need them both active. And the point is that we should keep it here. That so if the black queen moves somewhere, we can get this rook to h8 check. So something like this, black can simply play just queen e4 is blocking us again. We still cannot take him. This is a stalemate. And if we move the rook somewhere again, well, here comes a checkmate for black. So that is not good. If we try to do something like this, perhaps blocking him, well, then he can simply just grab our rook here, and we are not threatening anything. So we are losing this. So we need to keep the h rook here. We have to move this rook instead. So where to move it? Well, we need to get it somewhere on these files. Otherwise, if we move it like something like this, black can just grab our rook here on h1, and when we take back, this is a stalemate. So we need to really threaten something. Okay, so we got 4 squares to choose from. Let's start from the right. g1, well, this doesn't help. Black will play the queen to g7, threatening to get down to a1. It's still covering both squares. We still cannot take this queen. So if we just move away, well, he's gonna sacrifice his queen down here, and this is a stalemate. So what about moving it to f1 instead? Well, black will do the same, queen g7, and he's guarding these and still threatening here. And if we try to block it, perhaps, well, he can still just take it because he's still guarding the h8 square. So this is not a good idea. Okay, so we got these 2 squares to choose from. And I will tell you the e1 is right. So I will show you first what happens if we go to d1. Now we are threatening here. If the queen moves somewhere to guard this, we have a checkmate up here. Not in the one move, but in 2 moves, something like this. And it looks like this is a good start, but black has one wonderful defense move, which is queen to h4. He's now protecting the d8 square. We still cannot take here, obviously, and is also threatening queen to a4 checkmate. And it seems like we cannot guard ourselves against all of these. We can again try to block here, but he will simply take it and still protect the h8 square. So that's why we have to start with the rook from c1 to e1. Now we are threatening this. And if he moves the queen to g6 or f7 to guard, well, then we have the same here, which leads to checkmate. But black is, of course, not giving up that easy. Instead, he will try something clever here. He's got really 2 different moves that is worth looking at. One is queen g8 and one is queen h5. Let's start at queen h5 because now he's guarding this and he is still blocking our rook here. The good thing about this that is not threatening anything to on the a file here. The queen cannot get there, which means we have a beautiful winning move here. And if you haven't seen it before, you can pause the video again. And here it comes. The rook comes to e7. And the point of this is that we are also threatening to take this pawn on c7. If we do some other random move, just putting the rook here or something like that, well, the queen can come to e7 and stop everything. We still cannot take him, and he's now getting the threat of queen h a1 in also. So we have to be aggressive, play rook to e7, and we're still threatening both rooks to h8 if black moves the queen somewhere. So the only place he can put his queen and still guard these both two squares is actually to e5. Of course, we still cannot take here, but as I said, the rook to e7 had some other intention, that is to just grab this pawn. Now, this is not winning anything. Now we can simply take it because the black king is able to move out. And of course, this is winning easy for white. So instead, after we grab here, he will need to grab back. If he takes it with the queen, well, then it's an easy win with the check here and follow up with just grabbing the queen. This will be a checkmate very soon. Something like this, and we get a queen checkmate. If black instead grabs this with the king, well, we have some different moves that are winning, but I really like this one, the king to a7. Now we're threatening a check. It's a checkmate here to promotion with a pawn. We are still guarding here, so there's no check on a1. We can just grab it. And if it tries to protect here, well, then we have a check first. Force the king away up here, and then we can just exchange queens and win this easy. Okay. So that's all checked after he plays queen h5. Now let's look at queen g8. It's still protecting both squares, so we need to find something here because he's also threatening the queen to a2. Checkmate. Can you find out how white wins from here? Here we go. Well, we have to stop this. So first thing we do is put our rook in between, stopping the queen from coming to h2. And of course, if it takes the rook, then we have a checkmate here in the next move. So the black queen has to move somewhere to threaten more. He cannot go up, then he's allowing this to happen. So he has to stay on the 8th rank. Queen f8 is the only one not losing pretty much right away. There's another threat now on a3. And how do we stop this? Well, as we put our rook in between the last time, we do the same now. Rook e7. Now, again, we are stopping this, and black is in kind of a zugzwang. Of course, if you try something like this, it's just going to be checkmate. So the queen goes back to g8. And what happens now? Now it's important to know that this is not an option here, because black will just ignore. Instead, he will give a check here, and we take this, and we are getting checkmated like this. So that's not an option. We have to stop the black queen from coming to the a5. So again, we are blocking this path for the black queen. And now it seems he doesn't have many places to go to. If he moves away up here, well, then we can move either rook to the 8th rank. If we try something like this, perhaps go here, well, then now he doesn't threaten anything. That will give us the extra tempo move, and we will use it to just put our rook here on h7. Double up the rooks, and in the next move we will put a rook up here, and this leads to a very easy and quick win. So black has to be a bit more aggressive, and this is the actual move that is looking interesting. Again, he's threatening to get here, and again, we cannot take the queen, and again, he is still guarding both squares for us to reach the 8th rank. So, okay, what happens now? How do we win from here? Well, let me show you. Now we can grab on c7 because this is guarded. So the queen check doesn't work. We will just grab it, of course, and win easily like this and get this promotion. So it will be the same pretty much as before. If it takes with the queen, we have a check here, which will be checkmate. If it grabs with the king, we can play our king to a7, but it's not as good as before because black can move away and pin our pawn here, which leaves us a bit of work, but it's still winning. But I would prefer after this move that we just play the rook to d1, because now we cannot really stop the rook to d7 next move, and this is winning easily. I mean, this is not good enough either. That will be checkmate in 2, and doing some move here and attacking here. Well, then we just do the exchange check, and we will win like this, obviously. All right, so that's how you solve this crazy position. It's a bit tricky, and we really have to watch out for all the stalemate traps, but in the end we got it and we won as white. Thank you for watching this video. See you again tomorrow. Bye bye.